What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Winners Club podcast, where even when we don't win, we learn, and learning is a form of winning. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I want to make it just a kind of a discussion and kind of like a talking out loud among myself and PJ right here.
Well, talk out loud, man. How do you feel?
So my name is Brian Trent. I'm your host. My co-host here is PJ Padua.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the number one business podcast on the rise.
Yes, sir. I like that.
We're in the top 1%.
I think so, too, man. That's what Alex Mosey said. He says once you post 200 episodes or 100 episodes, you're in the top 10.
He's like, bro, once you post, whatever. We're like up there now.
Oh, we're there, man. All right, let's go, man. It's going to be a good one. What's on your mind, Brian?
Okay, so what's on my mind is that, this is something that I'm struggling with.
Yeah,
right?
go ahead,
because
man.
It's like living below your means, but elevating your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds so crazy, right? Like live below your means, but elevate your life. How do you do that, right?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's like, okay, you never want to, if you make $1, you don't want to spend $1.
Yeah, for sure.
But also there comes a time in a life where you have to grow and get uncomfortable and invest that $1.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I talk about this podcast all the time. I'm like, look, guys, I'm at a point in my life now where I'm never going all in.
Mm-hmm.
Can't.
Yeah.
You just have too much to lose going all in.
Yeah.
So right now I'm worth a couple.
Okay.
And so it's like, okay, I could be worth way more if I just invest everything. But then it comes at a risk. You don't have to always go all in. But I think a lot of the listeners out there who are very early in their careers are kind of listening to that and saying like, well, Brian said don't go all in. And I'm like, well, you're kind of too early in your career.
Yeah.
Or you're too young.
Yeah.
Like, you should go all in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have nothing to lose because you're worth nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it's just like, dude, when you're worth a couple million, it's like, dude, if I gamble a couple million, I'm going to lose, and then I'm going to be back at zero, and that's so hard to gain back.
Yeah.
But if you're at zero or even like 100,000, like, dude, go in.
Yeah.
Let's make some leaps and bounds and learn a skill or invest in yourself or buy that property or buy that stocks or, open that business.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the discussion today. And that's why I wanted to bring it up. Like, that advice that you're hearing from people is like, you have to understand what stage you are in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. For sure.
And even today, like, sometimes I'm like, well, I struggle with is how much should I be investing?
Yeah.
That
is a good question. What is your opinion? Like, I know it differs from stages to stages. Like, let's go on the ladder. Like, let's say in the beginning, like, how much should you be investing? At the same time too, living below your means. Like, what is the formula for you as a beginner?
I think like in the beginning you should have a 6-month reserve. I think later on in life you probably need more. But in the beginning stages, when you're starting your career or you're starting your business, your venture, 6-month reserve. So let's say your rent, your food, your monthly expenses is $5,000 a month. You should have at least $30,000.
Yeah.
Okay. That money you don't touch. Then
Ever.
Unless stuff hits the fan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's when you touch it.
Okay.
That's an emergency fund.
Okay.
And then I think and then you should have another fund, which is like your personal development fund.
Yeah. Well, big. Like, one question before we move forward. So when you have your funds, you should be living below your means and not investing that at all.
The $30,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's like your first mission.
Your first mission.
Okay.
Right? And then, I would then start putting money aside toward like an investment fund. And in the early career, the first thing you're going to invest in isn't going to be a property. It's going to be the knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can go out and try to invest like $10,000, $15,000. It's not going to do very much. Right? I would try to invest in a skill that will allow me to make $10,000, $15,000 a month.
Okay.
For
sure.
But if you're a W-2 employee listening to this, then I would stack and then use that to go buy properties. That's fine.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur with no solid income, that's when you gotta invest in yourself.
Yeah.
But then I would say the next thing that once you level up,
you have skill sets, you have
saved.
funds saved.
You should like continue to invest in yourself, but also invest in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, and the year before that, I spent a lot of money on high level coaching,
Yeah.
VIP,
Just
to
even
build the network.
Yeah, even individuals like under you invested a lot in that too as well like in the past 2 years. So
the thing that I struggle with now is like, dude, like a part of me wants to go and start something new.
really,
Big. Yeah. I like to build,
yeah, for sure.
but then it's like, at what cost?
Yeah,
At what cost? Like, it's gonna divert funds that I need to put into the existing businesses already,
yeah,
and then also, like, it's gonna divert time, energy, and effort.
yeah. I get that, but also on the flip side is like you'll never start a business, a new business if you're always like, oh, it's gonna take away from this. There is some sort of like risk, I would say. Wouldn't you say? Like for you, there is.
Oh, there's always
of course
risk.
there's gonna be like some risk, whether you have like 10M in the bank or you have like 100K. Like
Yeah.
like there is still risk.
Well, we're starting. We actually, I take that back. We are starting a business, but it's so ancillary with what we already have that I don't even consider it a new business.
We are starting a new business though.
Oh shoot, we're starting that business too.
Yeah.
We have that, and then we also have the property management. I forgot about.
Yeah.
But
So
those
you
are-
want to start another business on top of that?
Oh, I want to start something big though. Like those are like those are like nothing.
Well, let me ask you
It's
this.
nothing new because we already lease properties.
Yeah.
We already manage properties, but
Yeah.
now we're gonna start doing it for other people.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, it's nothing new. Like it's the same processes, the same systems, the same
Yeah.
VAs are gonna manage those things.
Putting a company name to it.
Yeah, he's
like
putting
what
a
you're
company
doing.
name and now opening it up to the public and start, gaining clients.
Well, let me ask you, like, in what situations, let's say, maybe one of our listeners is, a little bit down the road like you, how do they, like, set it up where they're living below their means, but they're still investing and they're elevating their life? How does one, like, for you, would you say to be prepared to make a leap like that?
It comes down to budgeting. I think, like one of the best books I told people to read is Profit First when it comes to just budgeting. It's not a very like mind-blowing book. It's pretty basic.
I mean, you've been talking about it for a lot.
I talk
so-
about it because then it's like if you learn to budget, then you learn to pace yourself.
Yeah,
It's when you don't know how to budget, then you start blowing it.
yeah.
Like the reason why I don't go out and start something big is because that account that I set aside for new ventures,
Yeah.
is it enough to actually start something big?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for every dollar I make, it gets divvied up.
Yeah.
And every company also has those accounts where it's like, profit comes in, and then we have an account for taxes. We have an account for operating expenses. We have an account for Profit First, which is like what we can take out and spend however we want to spend it. And then we have an investment account, which is like, for example, Rise and Grind, like that fund is used to open a new store.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have enough funds, we're not going to go take out loans to open a new store.
Gotcha.
And so we're kind of growing organically.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with what we're doing here. Like, we have to hit a certain threshold before we can go out and expand and do something like. But obviously, we're now at a point where it's like we're more established. In the beginning, we didn't have that because we didn't even have enough money to keep the lights on sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was more like, hey, we can't budget like this. We just have to go all in to keep the lights on, keep closing business. But now that we're more established, reaching that next stage, I would say level 2, level 3, we're like, okay, let's, the income gets a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we've been in business for 6-7 years now for each one of the companies that we're talking about. And so we know exactly how much we're going to be making.
Yeah.
With the exception of like, okay, you have seasons. So sometimes things are unexpected. You don't know how much you're going to make. But with that being said, $1 million comes in, $200,000 goes to, the investment account.
Mm-hmm.
$500,000 goes to freaking taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
300 grand goes to 100 goes to operation, 200 goes to profit.
Yeah.
And so it's like until that investment account grows big enough, then
Yeah.
even if I wanted to do something big, I don't have it.
For sure.
So budgeting
Budgeting,
is so important, man.
Yeah. I think that maybe like at higher stages, like it.
And then sometimes, like in the beginning, you'd be like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like, F the budget.
Yeah. No. For sure.
This idea is so good, we got to do it.
I was just gonna say that. Like, I think in the beginning, like it's completely fine. Like, you kind of just said in the beginning, but in like the beginning, early stages of your entrepreneur journey or your career, like it is kind of easier to just be like, "Fucking, let's go all in."
Yeah.
I'm broke. You
You're
know.
broke.
But like at a higher stage, I think it does come down, like you said, like the actual planning to build something, you know, that's actually gonna like not lose your money and really soar. You know what I mean?
You know, one of the things that I struggle with the most.
What is it?
Is that sometimes I feel like I'm not going fast enough. I'm not growing fast enough.
Oh, dude, I have that problem too.
Dude, I feel it. I'm like, man, I should go like more riskier.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So, but that's why I'm like, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I think about this stuff. Like, I don't know if the listeners have the same problem. Like, sometimes I feel like I should be going faster, bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, what holds you
shortening the time frame?
What holds you back then from that?
I wouldn't even say it's holding it back, but it's like that you have that's why you have to sit down and meditate and think about it. And so when I analyze the risk and the rewards, the risk, well, let's start with the reward first. The reward is it goes well. Mm-hmm. I double my net worth in like 3 years. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. The risk is I go too fast, I mess up. Yeah. I'm now worth half.
Yeah. I get it.
Of what in 3 years I'm not going to be worth double. I'm going to be worth 2 times less.
Yeah. No, I get that, man.
And then I look at the other spectrum, which is slow and steady. Yeah. Okay. Calculated growth. Yeah. Okay. Rather than trying to make 100% growth year over year or 50% growth year over year, we're going to gun for 12 to 15%. Yeah. Steady, and I'll get there in 7 years. Yeah. So a little more than double the time frame.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So that's what we're struggling with.
Well, let me. Do you think that like as you get bigger and you get more, I don't know how to say it, man. Just like monetarily like growing, like as your business. Do you think like the stakes get harder because, like the pressure and the stakes get harder?
The stake gets harder because now you have more people you have to worry about.
More people, more things to lose.
Like you're responsible for not only yourself now. Yeah. When you're a small mom and pop, like you and one other person, no big deal. But now that we have, I mean, a lot of people depend on me. Yeah. To survive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
And so that becomes something that plays into my decision making.
Yeah, I get it.
And so that's why I mean I brought this up. Like, how do you stay kind of, what did I say? Frugal? Frugal is the wrong word.
You said live below your means.
Live below your means. There you go. Living below your means, but still elevate. Like that's what it is. So like. And living below your means can also mean in business, not just people probably listen to that and was like, well, he's talking about your house, your car. Yeah. Like I'm talking about general business expenditures. Yeah. Like in business, we live below, we spend below our means. Yeah. Meaning we budget so that we at the end of the year have profit. Yeah. I think a lot of business owners don't do that. A lot of business owners, they continue to reinvest in their business. And then, for example, something like COVID happens and things shut down for a year. Yeah. And their business goes belly up. Yeah. Because they don't even have money. They don't even have profit. Yeah. Or money in their personal account to hedge the business when things go down. Yeah. Yeah. You know, a lot of reasons that business go out of business is because of lack of cash flow. They run out of money. Okay. The business is successful, but sometimes they operate on a net 30 or a net 60, meaning that they will provide the service but get paid 30 days after. Okay. Like when you run ads, right? Yeah. You don't get paid instantaneously. No. You run the ads for 30 days and then you get paid. Yeah. Then you bill a net 30. Yeah. Okay. The problem is some of these companies continue to reinvest. They're hanging on by a thread. Yeah. That they don't even have 30 days to survive.
For sure.
So they go out of business. Yeah. They can't pay salaries. They can't pay this and that.
Yeah, I guess that's probably like the biggest challenge.
So that's why I'm like living below your means. Living like you don't go and get the fanciest fucking office. Yeah, because that's not living below your means in business. Yeah, don't go and get the best equipment. Yeah, have the highest subscription service. Yeah, like as we're launching this. Property management company, we didn't go with the most expensive one. Yeah. because we don't. I mean, even though I can afford it,
Yeah.
I said, look, if we don't act reasonably now, we're gonna be reckless later.
Yeah.
So we chose a different platform that was a few $100s cheaper a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's a few $100s to me? Not much, but it's the principle.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I get that, man.
So yeah, I mean, and if you want to talk about personal life, it's easy. Like,
Well,
it's so easy to just go crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And sometimes, bro,
Feels good.
I'm like, I want the Rolls and the Ferrari. I
Yeah.
can afford it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, okay, the Rolls like 6,000, 5,000 a month lease. The Ferrari's another like 4,000, $9,000, bro. Nothing.
But this is the
But
problem
that's
that you.
stupid.
This is the problem that you have. You're like,
But
I want to start a new business, but I also want Rolls
Mhm.
Royce and I also want Ferrari.
Well, yeah. So it's like, but that's why, like, elevate, right? And that's the material thing. But I will say one thing about material things. Sometimes you do have to flex.
Yeah.
Dude, we just paid $2,500 for a coach, and she goes, your team needs to flex harder. I'm like, for real?
For real? We could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Like, show off your
Yeah.
accomplishments, show off the lifestyle, show off everything, because that's what's gonna attract.
I agree.
I was like, you know what? That's kind of true, but
yes and no.
yes and no. You see,
Yes
like
and no,
again, that's the
depends.
struggle that we have to struggle with.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. This is
like elevate,
yeah.
but also live below.
Well,
your
this
means.
is an interesting question. I want to we might have to clip this up, but what is your opinion? Do you think that on the topic of like living below your means and such, do you think that you should lower the quality of your life to elevate the business, or you should lower the quality of the business to elevate your life?
Oh, come on, dude. Business all day. You have you have to put the business first.
Yeah. But when does it come to a point where you're like, maybe I could enjoy?
When the business is so solid
Yeah.
and like stable, that is when you can like lay off,
Yeah.
and the business can throw off enough to where it can sustain growth.
Yeah.
Also, every business should also have their own 6-month reserve,
Yeah.
by the way.
Okay.
So I talk about the 6 months emergency fund for your personal,
Yeah.
but every business eventually should have its own
Yeah.
6 months of emergency fund as well. And that means like, okay, you got to have enough to pay payroll.
Yeah.
You got to have enough to pay the rent. Like
Yeah.
if you're assuming you're in an office building,
Yeah.
and any subscription service you have to run that business, you got to have 6 months for that too.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, my accounts have a lot of money, but I'm broke, and people don't understand that. They're like, they'll look at my accounts. My lender will look at my account and be like, "Oh, you got enough?" I'm like, "No, I don't,"
Yeah.
because I've been through COVID.
Yeah.
I've been through that scare.
Yeah.
I've been through when we opened up more stores, and then the second stores didn't do as good as planned.
Yeah.
And guess what? Store number 1 has to dip into its reserve to pay for store number 2.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm able to like sustain, because you
Yeah.
always put the business first.
Yeah.
And then once all those businesses have their 6 months reserve, once all those
Yeah.
businesses are like kind of consistent, and you'll know,
Yeah.
right? Like you'll know, like, hey, okay, this is like every month. Okay, we're every month now. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
They say do it once, like, okay, maybe lucky.
Yeah.
Twice, better shot. 3 times, like 3 months, you're good. If it
Yeah.
starts running like smooth
Yeah.
and it has a 6 months, then you
For
can start
sure.
spending a little bit.
I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That's what it was.
No, I asked that question because it sounds like, it kind of sounds like you're kind of have that situation too, right? You're like Rari and Rolls, or you're like new business.
Business, I don't know, man. That's why I'm like, okay. That's why I always say, like, I always try to look at like invest first,
Yeah.
and then assuming everything goes well, that investment will pay for the toys.
Yeah.
I'm
For
like,
sure.
"Oh, the coffee shop pays for the Mercedes.
Yeah.
One coffee shop pays for the Mercedes insurance and gas
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Another coffee shop pays for the truck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The third coffee shop pays for
Yeah.
the house insurance and all that stuff. That's kind of how I look at it.
Like living by like milestones, kind of
Yeah.
financial milestones, right?
And then what you have to do on top of it is like, okay, even though I lease a lot of these cars, like the Mercedes is leased and stuff,
yeah.
I make sure I have enough
Mhm.
to pay, like, to cover all 3 years of the lease.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So like
That's
the
kinda-
Mercedes is $22,000.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, $22,000 a year. Look,
Yeah.
give or take a little bit more. It's like 2,200 a month.
Yeah.
22,000 times 3. So
Okay.
I need 66,000.
Got it.
I got it to pay it off.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I'm out of a job. Oh
Yeah,
shit, business
yeah.
1, business 2, business 3 failed. Business 4 number failed. Like,
Yeah.
oh damn it. Is the car gonna get repoed? You know?
Yeah,
no,
no.
it's cool. We got it.
Yeah.
So I sit on a lot of, I'm not sitting on that much cash because we're constantly buying properties, but I got enough to sustain for a good chunk.
I like that, bro.
That's kind of, but then like, dude, I just want the rolls.
Dude, I know, man. We'll get some more properties.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm in contract for 2 more.
Yeah, everything's cooking, man. Yeah.
That's right. But that's the thing. It's like, so, hey, this podcast was a little different because I'm not here to just like rah, rah, rah.
This is super raw, yeah.
I want you guys to like understand that, look, we're struggling with things too, right? Different problems.
Yeah. I mean, I think something that like it shows is that like it's kind of always the same problems, from start to finish.
Kinda,
but
yeah.
they get like heavier.
They just apply to different, I guess, like, personal business. I kind of bleed them all together. The way I run my business is the way I live my life.
Yeah.
I budget, I calculate, I make sure I don't buy dumb shit.
Yeah.
And I make sure we always got reserves, and I make sure that we're incrementally getting better.
Yeah.
But sometimes the speed is the thing in question.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm always trying to improve my life.
Yeah.
And the other day, actually, it's funny because we're moving.
Yeah.
And actually, it was yesterday. We're moving into a more expensive home.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife told my mother-in-law, she goes, "Hey, we're moving." She goes, "Oh, like why?" It's newer house. Oh, okay. Is it cheaper? No.
Yeah.
In her floor, and she's like, they just like, oh my god, they stress.
Yeah.
And because the monthly is more than they've ever made
Yeah,
combined.
yeah.
My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
But to them, I think sometimes because they never improved their life, they never like did more.
Yeah. I guess to them it doesn't seem normal what you're doing.
It's but then I'm like, they should be used to this by now. Like I came home with Mercedes. And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
oh my god, you shouldn't drive a Mercedes. I went from a Honda to a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Right? And then I went from Mercedes to, then we had another car.
Yeah,
We had an
yeah.
Audi. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Why do you need 2 cars?
Yeah.
And then Ferrari,
Yeah.
Lambo,
Yeah.
G-Wagon, Bentley,
Yeah.
new house.
They're like, oh my god.
And I'm like, I looked at my wife. I'm like, they're still surprised.
Yeah.
Like I'm always gonna push,
Yeah.
but obviously calculated.
Yeah, for sure.
I could have been in the house that we're moving into like way earlier,
Yeah.
but I was like, you know what? Let's save a little bit more. Like let's
Chill.
live below your means,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? And so now I'm like, okay, well, business is good. It's better than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So now we can improve a little bit more, slightly a little bit more
Yeah.
for personal reasons and stuff like that, because you want to elevate your life. And I told you yesterday when we were driving through it, I was like, dude, I feel $1 million, $2 million richer
Yeah.
driving down the street.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what the home's going to do for us, because, it's a little newer,
Yeah.
got a little bit more amenities for me, has a 2-car garage,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could park some nice cars,
Yeah.
and that's going to improve my life, and that's going to push me to
Work harder.
not even work harder, because I mean, like the amount, how I work will never change, but it's gonna like maybe make me feel better. And when I
new
feel
energy,
good,
fresh energy.
new energy. When I
Yeah.
feel good, dude, I'm gonna perform. I'm
Yeah.
gonna perform at a whole nother
Yeah.
level. It's crazy because I can tell you that when I moved to the last house, being in the neighborhood that I'm in,
Yeah.
living the lifestyle that I live, going to, the even go walk the coffee shop I go to, the restaurants I eat at,
Yeah.
brought me up.
Yeah.
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 Can't describe it. Can't
Yeah.
describe it. But I can tell you right now, if you took me right now and put me in the hood, I think my performance will be affected.
I bet you it would, bro.
They say that you can drop me anywhere and I'll make $1 million. Yes, that's true. You drop me anywhere, I'm gonna do what I do. I
Yeah.
will make money.
Yeah.
And I will like suck it up. But will my quality of life suffer? 100%.
Yeah.
I will go home. I will freaking like be at maybe a little more stressed.
Yeah.
I won't be as relaxed because if I'm in the hood, I'll hear gunshots and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
July 4th is around the corner. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you. In my neighborhood now, we don't hear a single firework. They just don't allow it, and the cops do their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have grown up in the town. I
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
even in SF, it'd be like pew, 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 and you can't sleep. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. You can't sleep. You cannot tell me that lifestyle is gonna be like, better than where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Like in the neighborhood that I'm in now.
Yeah.
I get better sleep.
Yeah.
Right. I have a sense of security.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I left the cooler outside my front.
Did you? Yeah.
I just left it there. I'm like, you know what?
The $500 cooler?
No, $100, something like that. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
whatever, it's 40. I don't know. It don't matter.
Yeah.
But if I did that in SF, it'd be gone. Dude,
Yeah.
I leave packages out. Like one time we were on a trip. The package sat there for a week, still there.
Oh.
That feels good, man.
It does feel good. It does feel good.
And so, same thing with cars sometimes, like elevating. Like, yo, I'd sit in traffic. I put the auto drive on. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, I have the pillows in my back seat. It's like, yo, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
So I show up to the event or wherever I'm going, like, I'm still fresh.
Yeah.
Like, I used to drive my Honda Accord, put the most miles on that thing. I'd be like, oh, man, my back hurts. And I was young. I was like 23. Why my back hurt?
Yeah.
I'm you know, just in the car for so long, right? So, like, that's another thing. Like, just, I don't want to ramble, but yes, you have to elevate your life. You have to elevate the lifestyle.
No, yeah, for sure.
And then the more money will come.
Yeah, but below your means in a sense too, right? Below your means. Yeah. You know?
When I bought my first Mercedes, I could have bought the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? The G-Wagon's $175,000. This GLE 43 was, I think, 65, 70, half.
Yeah.
So I lived below. I bought. I said I can afford this.
Still cool.
When I got the Ferrari 458, I could have afforded. I bought the Ferrari for like $145,000.
Yeah.
I could have afforded the $225,000 Huracan.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? We don't need all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So like, you can still elevate, but just elevate the right way.
I like that, man. Let's
Don't
wrap it
chase
up
the
there.
Jones, man. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
because I mean, even though I could have afforded the extra, at any given moment, I could have gone way better.
Yeah.
But that would have put me at a strain.
For sure.
It would have put me in a position where if one wrong move happened, I'd be kind of bad.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the problem I see with a lot of these people these days. Like, yo, they're all in to where they have no reserves.
Yeah.
They're banking on, especially with flipping, that project going right. But when you got 10 projects and you're over leveraged, it takes one project to take down the whole 10.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, no. I understand.
You run out of cash flow. Then,
I understand.
Then you can't get, you're relying on project number 1 to finish, so you can take that money and move it over to project number 2 and 3. But when one goes wrong, then you don't have money to do, all the projects halt.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. Unfinished projects don't fetch big money.
For sure. They don't, man. They don't.
Well, appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for joining in on the little Tuesday ramble. But yeah, we'll wrap it up.
No, I think that was really, really, I think it was a cool episode. I think it was cool to hear your views on a lot of things. And we did hit a lot of topics at the end. But, I just want, listeners to take it away, man. But, hey, live below your means, guys. But constantly always elevate and see what's there for you guys.
Share this with 5 friends. Peace.
Peace. See you guys next one.